Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this for a moment right here? Kendrick Lamar, Damn, Collector's Edition, literally reverse track list up here on Apple Music. Literally same album, literally same everything, just track list reversed. For me, this has kind of been one of the biggest music memes of 2017 that just would not die. And listen, I've done my share of advancement of this meme. I get it. So I can't act like I'm not guilty in complicity with this meme a little bit. And honestly, I can't totally fault Kendrick on this. I feel like him and his label have actually kind of made a smart business move on this thing because they've given listeners, they've given fans a reason to listen to the record all over again, put it at the front of Apple Music, one of the biggest albums of the year. I feel like this has the potential to even kind of throw the streams of the album up a bit once again, putting it up higher on the charts once more, because you get people, oh, whoa, reversed. It has meanings reversed that it doesn't have when you play it forward. Oh my God. And they were actually bold enough to throw this thing back up on iTunes for $10, $9.99, same album, reverse order. And it's the collector's edition. What are you collecting? The MP3s? Are you collecting the MP3s to this? I could see maybe putting out a reversed version of the album physically and sort of doing a limited sort of edition version of that. And, that actually literally becomes a collector's edition that could accrue value over time, which would be neat, which would be cool. But to just literally throw the same digital album up on iTunes again, reversed. Listen, guys, I feel like in response to this story about the album, hey, you could play it reversed. There was supposed to be a second album. Is playing the album reversed, is that the second album? I don't subscribe to the theory. I don't. And I still don't. Even with Kendrick Lamar saying, yeah, sure, you could play it backwards if you want. It has like a different feel, I guess. I feel like a cynical dick. I really feel like a cynical dick. And I don't want to feel like a cynical dick. I feel like I'm not trying to go out of my way to be a cynical dick. If I was, I would certainly admit to that. If I was really trying to be the biggest cynical dick in the world, I would just come right out and admit that. I would just say, hey guys, I'm trolling. I like to troll. If you guys follow my social media, you already know that I like to troll. I throw fucking Little Pump memes up on there all the time because I know they piss people off, even though I enjoy Little Pump quite a bit. But I digress. So I still don't subscribe to this. And now that I hear the album in reverse order, which I did before, but I guess now that it's presented in front of me and I'm just kind of like literally listening to it all the way through, thinking about every single track, the album and this whole reverse order theory makes so much less sense to me. Duckworth, to me, only makes perfect sense as a closer that kind of wraps up the coincidence and the serendipity of all of these elements and all of these things that Kendrick raps about up until this point. The song DNA makes no goddamn sense as, it's not technically the closer, the song Blood is the closer, but it's the final song on the album, which to me is a tone setter in that it's aggressive, it's hard-hitting, and it, in a very surface level way, addresses a lot of the topics and a lot of the themes that you're going to hear about later on the album. Not only that, but Blood, to me, is such a moment of introduction. It's not really a moment of closure on the album. It's a moment of confusion. It's like a really weird, surreal dream that Kendrick throws onto the listener that makes your mouth water because you're like, what is this story? What's going on here? Like, what exactly sort of is happening? I'm curious. I want to know. And it does end up being sort of like a something open to interpretation, of course, but I feel like it's not a tie-up. It's not a moment of finality. And I feel like, and this is just a personal thing here, but I don't really enjoy listening to the album in a way where some of the most mellow and, in my opinion, the least gratifying tracks on the record, because some of my least favorite tracks happen toward the end of the record, some of the least gratifying tracks on the record hit me first. I much prefer the order where my favorite tracks are first. The tracks I enjoy the most are first. And then I feel like I've kind of, built up a bit of a high off of some of the catchier and more hard-hitting cuts from the record, like Element and, of course, Humble and, of course, DNA. And then I'm ready for the album to just kind of mellow out, as many records often do. So, to me, this record just does not make sense backwards. There's nothing gained from this album backwards that you don't get out of it forwards. There's barely a narrative to the record to begin with, and nothing is truly revealed about the album listening to it backwards, which is why even when Kendrick himself was talking about this, all he could really say is that, yeah, you know, it changes the vibe. Well, sure. I mean, rearranging the track list of nearly any album is going to change the vibe, change the listening experience to the album. And I feel like this is certainly indicative of that, in that, at least in my personal experience, the reverse order is so much less gratifying than the original order. So yeah, it does change the vibe to a less interesting vibe, I guess. Yeah, I still don't subscribe to the theory. I still don't believe the hype. And to me, this reads as, buy my album twice, listen to my album over again, get my label more streams, which it's a smart business move. If somebody told me that I could make a bunch more views and money on YouTube putting up all of my video content over again, but just like, I don't know, reversing it or changing the color gradient or some shit like that, I'd do that shit. You know, if I had to re-upload all of my videos in black and white, like, I would totally do that. I would totally take that opportunity. But yeah, I don't subscribe to it. I don't subscribe to the meme. There are a lot of memes I subscribe to, not this one. But let me know down in the comments if you feel like I'm being too much of a cynical dick. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out, or you can click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Forever.